Good morning, it's Nancy today. I am sharing my spot in the car with a black fly, and I'm going to zoom in on him, see what we can learn about this black fly.
Leading Norris Trophy winning defenseman, from the 1970s. She insists that Orr is the name of the household figure who you aspired to be before Wayne Gretzky came along.
Someone sent a note saying who was on our lunch boxes. It was Bobby Orr, but other people equally as passionate about the Rockets. So we welcome more feedback. I'm really curious to see who ends up in the lead.
But I'm pleased too that people understood the nature of the question. It wasn't just who's the leader in assists before Wayne Gretzky. It was who is the guy who you wanted to be when you put on skates. And I guess maybe it's Bobby Orr, maybe it's the Rocket.
Maybe it's the Rocket.
Wait and see. Cloudy today, 11 degrees right now, Kathleen. There's a chance of some showers this morning, the high 17. Clouds,
I think he's biting it.
30% chance of rain overnight with the low 11. Rain more likely than all of that for Thursday, 15 to 25 millimeters likely through the day, the high 15. Right now, still just clouds and 11.
Okay, Stu, thanks. Story in the face of a nasty recession. Canada's largest information technology company posted almost 13% profit in the second quarter profits, but some CGI workers are complaining that these gains are trickling downward. 130 of the company's employees in Ottawa, Toronto, and Montreal have been temporarily laid off, meaning they're no longer on salary, but they can't collect severance pay either. Now, 7 of those workers in Ottawa are suing CGI for wrongful dismissal. Chris Rutham is an employment and labor lawyer. Melvin O'Brien Payne, the firm handling the lawsuit. He joins me in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's really interesting. So, what is the case the 7 employees you're representing are making against CGI in this case?
Well, these 7 employees were given letters by CGI informing them that they were going to be laid off for an indeterminate or undetermined amount of time. At the same time, their disability insurance was cut off and they stopped receiving salary. The claim against CGI is just that this action is contrary to their common law employment rights. And if we can take a second to explain what we mean by that. In Ontario, there are 2 sources of rights and obligations owed to or from employees. The first is a statutory right, and the statute term is called the Employment Standards Act. The statute states that an employee who's been terminated is entitled to notice of 1 week per year of service up to a maximum of 8, and in addition, statutory severance of 1 week's pay per year of service up to a maximum of 26. And in order to be eligible for severance,
I think he's eating this. I think he's got his little, whatever it's called, stuck in the rubber of the car.
Who's been temporarily laid off is not entitled to those 2 particular statutory amounts. And a temporary layoff is 13 weeks layoff in any 20-week period, or a 35-week layoff in any 52-week period, provided that the employer continues to make certain payments on behalf of employees for benefit plans or supplemental employment
pension contributions, that
kind of thing. That is the statutory rights held by employees. In addition,
I guess he's cleaning his legs or something.
Employment with their employer, and the law of contract does not recognize or contemplate a layoff or a temporary cessation of a contract. Just as somebody who has a mortgage or a lease with their landlord can't tell their landlord or their bank, I'm going to stop paying for the next couple of months because I don't feel like living in this home.
Okay, I'm just going to stop. It's a lot of information here. So a contract of employment, are you saying that trumps the Employment Standards Act?
It's more accurate to say that the Employment Standards Act is a statutory floor of rights below which an employer and employee cannot contract. So your contract cannot contain less benefits or fewer rights for an employee than are stipulated in the Employment Standards Act, but you can always contract for more.
Now where'd he go?
Okay, now in this contract,
there he
is it necessary for the contract to stipulate that a company will not impose a temporary layoff of 13 to 35 weeks?
No, the opposite is the case. If an employer wants to legally lay off an employee under their contract of employment, the contract of employment must explicitly state that the employer reserves this right. Otherwise, the law does not recognize a layoff.
I'm going to see if the other camera will do a better job.
Okay.
Bye.